Hello, welcome to Paint by Blunders. Slightly different video today. This is about the Orktober challenge from Cryptic Cabin. And the Orktober challenge, if you don't know, is you are given 3 paints. You can add your own black and white paint to these 3 and an orc miniature, and your job is to paint that orc. If you want to get involved in this, I'm not sponsored by Cryptic Cabin. They did not ask me to do this video. You can either go to Cryptic Cabin's website, and I'll put a link down below. You can buy a pack. The pack consists of 3 paints that they choose, a paintbrush, a bag of coffee, and a random orc model. You don't know what it is. But I appreciate not everyone has a lot of disposable income. You might want to save it for, you know, that new model that's coming out. But we all have a pile of shame. So there's got to be a model in there you can do this challenge with. Now, the first thing I did was I got my wet palette out and I just put a dab of each of the colours and started mixing them just to see what tones and variety of shades I can get, just to give me a rough clue on how I was going to paint this model. It was quite boring. Obviously I went, it's an orc, green skin. Very handy that I had green in the pack. But I did want to see how my black and white reacted with it, and obviously how they reacted with each other. You don't have to do this, and I made an absolute mess of my wet palette. You should have seen it at the end. It was an absolute state, but absolutely worth it. Now, why is this so good and why am I bothering making a video about it? Well, the reason being is if someone gave me an orc model and said paint the skin on this orc, for instance, I would go to my shelf, pick out 3 or 4 different greens, a couple of different shades, and then do my standard recipe. Now, I don't have that luxury, and it is very restrictive but also incredibly freeing at the same time. Now, I know that sounds a bit stupid, but it really is, and it's so fun just to get back to just painting a miniature for the sake of painting a miniature. It was so relaxing, and I wasn't trying to cover a box art. I wasn't trying to, I wasn't trying to do anything like that. It was just, what can I do with these colours to make this model look interesting? And that was it. So I obviously started with the skin. I just put a little bit of black with my green. I didn't want to go too mad on this. And then every time I would just add a little bit more of the original green and just focus on building those layers, testing it on my thumbnail every time just to see how those shades would, how the tone would increase. And this was just awesome because, as I say, I did this with essentially the black, the green and the yellow, and I was so happy with how this came out. So one of the things I don't normally do with orc skin, because I had the yellow on the palette, I really push those yellow tones into the green skin. Something that I don't always do, I barely ever do when I'm painting orcs, and it's now changed my mind on how I will paint orc skin in the future. And when we started looking at the trousers, I knew obviously, I was like, brown trousers, it'd go very well, and I knew on my palette that I could make those browns with the colours I had. But I didn't realise just how much I enjoyed making my own browns, because it's also one of those things that I always struggle to find just immediately out of I don't have a go-to brown. I normally use warm brown by Pro Acrylic and stuff, but I'm never completely satisfied. But I was so happy with my initial tone that I had on this. So I think going forward, I really am going to start using my own recipes of brown. Now, is this going to stop me buying every new shade of paint and constantly going, oh, that's a slightly different yellow than I've got, I'm going to need that? Absolutely not. I'm still a fiend for collecting paint from all different brands and types, so it's going to do nothing like that. But will it change the way I paint in the future? Absolutely. I mean, I already try to mix some more of my own colours, especially if I'm layering and I want to just push it up that one, a tone at a time. Sometimes I just want to add a little bit of white, a little bit of yellow, etc., just to, get the tone that I want. So with the red armour, I tried adding a little bit of black to it to darken down the red. But this is what I loved about this challenge as well, the things you discover about when you mix the colours. It really made it go, instead of a dark red, much more of a plummy magenta, like really dark magenta, which I wasn't a massive fan of. So I then had to essentially, to darken down my red areas, just knock up a really thin black glaze, and just to try and darken it that way in some of the recesses. Another good way to do this would be if you've got a friend that you paint with, get them round, do the challenge together. We've all got hundreds of paints. Get them to pick 3 out for you, you can pick 3 out for them. Job done. Now, I will be completely honest. The thing that scared me most about this challenge was receiving a model that had lots of metallics, and this guy has a big old gun. I sort of, you know, I'll admit it, I reckon I cheated. Because I primed with an airbrush, I had a slight xenophil, that I used that as the way to cheat my metallics with the greys. And then I just simply did a little bit of glazing to try and, you know, heighten that contrast a bit. And considering this challenge and the interests of fun, the fur, I think on the back is actually meant to be scales, but I decided to paint it in some sort of animal fur, which was great, something I never normally do, and just had a little bit of fun with it. Basing wise, you can do it any way you like. That is not part of the challenge. So I did the classic desert basing, which was just some AK texture paint with a Avrex Earthshade and a dry brush. So if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening to me waffle on about painting an orc essentially with 5 pots of paint.